Hey, what's up, sports bettors? It's Matt Modi here with OddsJam, coming to you with some last-minute player props to lock in for the NFL slate tomorrow. Of course, using OddsJam to find these sharp player props. Before I get started, I would appreciate it if you guys could just go to wherever you listen to podcasts, download the OddsJam podcast, Sweat the Bet, featuring me and another content creator for OddsJam, Andrew Kim. Sweat the Bet, you can find it on any of your podcast platforms. Here you see it on Apple. It is also on Spotify. Sweat the Bet, presented by OddsJam. Me and Andrew Kim, Parlay Doc, just giving our NFL best bets, our NFL analysis weekly. So would appreciate it if you guys could subscribe. Links to it are in the description of the video. But for these two player props, obviously there are two that I found using OddsJam. Both of them are going to be on Caesars Sportsbook. As you see, there are a ton of player props here on Caesars. So let me go ahead and lock both of these in. Both are going to be locked in for half a unit. And let's chat. So this first one, Alec Pierce over 37.5 receiving yards. For those of you who don't know him, he is a rookie receiver for the Indianapolis Colts. So I would use the OddsJam Props player prop app to try and find out his best stats, his analysis, his stuff like that using the OddsJam Props app. But he's a rookie, so there are no props. Basically, the way the app works is if you click into a player, it gives you all the historical data for this player. So all games, last 25, 10, 5, home, away, stuff like that. If you want to bet his under as well, obviously you can change that and it'll give you the odds there. But for a rookie, obviously we don't have that type of information, but I still really like this play. So it's on OddsJam, found on the positive EV page, which I know already makes it a mathematically profitable bet. And this one has a profit margin of 5.15%. That's pretty good. That's pretty high. And this 5.15% can be viewed as your mathematical profit margin. Basically, for every $100 bet on this play, you could figure to make $5.15. I locked it in for half a unit, $50. So this is going to be roughly $2.50 in terms of profit margin. So I know I don't want the low numbers to kind of scare you off thinking that it's not a profitable system, because there's a couple things you need to keep in mind. Number one is that this is just one bet. So, if you're like me, if you go to my bet tracker, there are a ton of pending bets that you'll see on here on the bet tracker. I've had a rough go of it recently, as you saw there, but a ton of pending bets. So this is just one bet. If you add all those together, this $2.50 multiplied across, 50 bets, whatever, turns into $100, $150, something like that. And that's just on one day, which is my second point. Generally, investing, like the stock market, stuff like that, you're making 8% returns yearly. That's kind of the average. Well, I'm making 5.51% literally on one bet. My next bet, 2.96. So I'm literally making 8% on two bets for NFL Sunday. Again, you're locking in a lot more than just two bets, so your profit margin is a lot higher. For this one specifically, the OddsJam line priced it at minus 104, and we got it on Caesars at plus 106. So again, Alec Pierce over 37.5 receiving yards. The reason why I ended up choosing this one is if you compare across all the sports books, you see a pretty awesome outlier and a pretty awesome bet here. So again, we got it at plus 106 on Caesars. If we look at the other books that price it, DraftKings has the over as the more likely scenario, at all the way down at minus 125. They think that the more likely scenario is that Alec Pierce goes over this receiving yardage, 37.5. Same thing with the OddsJam line. Now, obviously not as aggressive as DraftKings, but still, OddsJam, pulled from Pinnacle Sportsbook, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, prices this over at 37.5 at minus 117 odds. The under at minus 113, favoring the over, basically saying that they think the more likely scenario is that this play goes over 37.5, and we got it for plus money on Caesars. Again, already locked this one in. Same logic here for David Montgomery, except we can actually use the OddsJam Props app. So if I go type in his name, so I just type in David Montgomery, I want to look at not his receiving, his rushing yards. We see that he's hit this total in 19 of his last 29 games. If I want to look at his last 25, 17 of 25, 68%. Last 10, 7 of 10, 70%. Last 5, 3 of 5, 60%. No matter how you slice it, David Montgomery is trending over this rushing total. The Bears are at home. Let's see how he does at home. Even better, 11 of his last 13 games, he has gone over this rushing total. So not only is it positive expected value, roughly 3% profit margin on this one. OddsJam line, no big odds, pricing it at about minus 102. We got it at plus 104 on Caesars. Not only is it mathematically profitable, but he's consistently trending above this number as well, no matter how you slice it. So you add all that up together. That sounds like a good bet. In terms of an outlier, which is very, very important to see, again, every book that you look at, except for PointsBet, is favoring the over as the more likely scenario. PointsBet is still giving you significant. PointsBet is still pricing this closer than the OddsJam line at minus 105. OddsJam pricing it at minus 117. But DraftKings has the over at minus 120, the over at minus 110, favoring the over. BetMGM has the over at minus 115, the under at minus 110, favoring the over. Caesars is the clear outlier here at plus 104. So these are my two favorite last minute player props to lock in for tomorrow. These were the two that I thought had the most value. So I locked it in for half unit each. And now all I'm doing is just adding it to my bet tracker. So $50 here, $50 there. And this bet tracker is what you see here. It's really, really important. I think it's really good to track your bets, obviously. All this information you see here, right? Total profit, pending bets, ROI, which is a little bit lower for me after 2 tough weeks, hoping NFL picks it up. It was a rough college day for me today. That's why my football is a little bit lower. But all this comes from using the bet tracker, and it'll tell you whether your bet is beating the closing line or not, which is what you see here. So if you see something that's red, you can go in the sportsbook and see if you can cash it out. Really, really helpful feature. Another thing I like to do is use the arbitrage page. Can be another good way to find profitable bets. Basically saying if you're able to find an opportunity, like this Joe Flacco under 0.5 interceptions, huge arbitrage opportunity to Pinnacle, showing that this one is a true value. This Joe Flacco one is another really good bet, found using the arbitrage page. So using all these different tools, the middles is a great tool as well. Look at this first quarter team total middle. Basically, which this would be really unlikely, but if the Dolphins land at exactly 5, both of these would have hit. So just using all of these tools that OddsJam has to offer is a really easy way to make football season a profitable season for you. So definitely recommend checking out OddsJam, checking out all of these tools, using them how I talk to you. And then, of course, looking at the OddsJam Props app, available on any iOS store, OddsJam Props. And then, if you could do me a favor, check out the podcast, Sweat the Bet. Let me know if you have any thoughts on this one. But that's going to be it. So appreciate you guys watching. Again, my name is Matt Modi, content producer for OddsJam. If you have any questions, if you're tailing these bets, anything you want to feedback you want to give, just comment on the video. Other than that, please remember to like the video, subscribe, get all these picks moving forward. And that's it. So I appreciate you guys watching and have a good one.